What is up, guys? Wraec here with a new video, and today I want to show you guys a pretty insane team for battle drills. Basically, I was on the look for a secondary team for it. Usually I use like Merrily and Odie, and then I found this team and it actually turned out it did more damage than the team I was using before. And the reason for that is we have 5 enemies here. 5 enemies, and we can control those, so it is a CC team, and well, it did a ton of damage, so let's take a look at it. Basically, we're using Carolina in here, we're using Iron, we have Cessia in there, though we will talk about that in a second. Rowan is there, and we have Arden, and I'll just show you guys what happens when we attack those enemies, so let's see. It always takes 12 stamina from you, so basically you have to make the most use out of your 12 stamina that you can. You can see tons of CC on the enemies there. Iron pulling them together. We have the little minion from Cessia also hitting them, keeping them from attacking our backline. The main goal of this team is to just CC the enemies as often as you can to get as many ultimate skills as possible. And you can see the damage counter on the left side there just racking up. Quite insane. I hope we're going to hit 100 million. I'm pretty sure, honestly, that we are about to do that. And the really nice thing is you have to keep a look at the energy of Arden there. It just skyrockets. He has so many active skills because every time an enemy is CC'd, he just gains energy as well. And then that we have Rowan there, you can see this entire plethora of buffs. Quite insane. Obviously, when we pull those enemies together, the ult from Cessia will just hit all of them. So we have insane damage. We have synergies with Arden, who every time 148 million. Okay, that's insane. It's probably personal high score of mine. We have the synergy with Arden every time. We have Carolina, who always does her snow when an enemy is CC'd. So we have a lot of stuff in here. And the best thing about it is, it's not even a full Supreme Plus team. I didn't manage to do that yet. And we don't even have full weapons, so like we don't have the plus 15 skills. There's so much left in this team that we could do. My weapon for Carolina, for example, is just plus 5, and I know that she would love a better weapon quite a lot, so in that sense there is still a lot that we can improve on this team. One thing that is a bit of a problem, we are mostly resolving around magic damage. And then we have Cessia in here. And somebody pointed this actually out because I posted one of these fights as a short on YouTube. And someone pointed out, well, you have Cessia in there who does physical damage. And yeah, that is true. Like, we're mostly focusing around magic damage, and then we have a physical damage dealer in there. Is kind of weird. I like that she can CC. And one thing I also like is that we have her minion, and that actually keeps some of the enemies from going back and attacking, for example, our Arden or something. Because we don't really have too much heal there. Rowan could heal some of our heroes, of course, if they fall low, but yeah, that's about it. So let's try that again. 148 million actually cut a decent chunk out of this already. You can see that is quite a lot. Are we placed 1 with that? We are indeed placed 1 with that. So let's try that again. We do have another fight indeed. Do we have another one after that? No, then our Rowan will be gone, sadly. And Rowan is very nice for this because we just get a ton of extra energy that helps us do more active skills. So starting off, I will explain a bit more. We have the instant ultimate from Iron. You get that once he hits Mythic Plus and gets his magic, his gear, his exclusive equipment. That will give him an instant ultimate at the beginning of the fight. Super useful. Now we basically just start hitting them. We have the minion from Cessia there. All of the enemies are pretty much focused on 1 to 2 tiles there, or at least in a 1 tile radius, so that is very good for actually hitting them. We could go for a bit of more range even. The Arden, for example, his ultimate has an exclusive weapon that actually would give it a bit more range, so would help if we use that. But looking at that, we just have pretty good positioning right now. I hope that... Oh, I don't think our... Oh, that is actually bad. Our Carolina doesn't really get energy, I think. And then we have all those ice crystals here. Every time we have the snowballs from Carolina. Can we top our damage? Okay, we broke through the 150 million even. So, yeah. And this team, of course, is best if you use it while there are still 5 enemies. So if you use the very focused team and you hit the enemy, for example, with the Vala or some hero that just focuses on a single enemy, OD even, you might kill off one of them, and that would actually make this CC strategy a lot worse because we rely on having skills that hit multiple enemies. So yeah, there was a quick nearly 300 million damage on this boss. And yeah, let's hop into the skills so that I can show you that. That's actually quite cool. Carolina mostly revolves around her Frozen Grave, that is her ult. We have this Freeze AoE that she puts on them, we have Frostbite within there, some freeze duration, so we have XCC, which is very nice. Reducing haste of the enemy as well, so we get even less actions though. To be fair, we don't really get many actions at all with all of this CC. That's some basic damage, and then we have the 4 snowballs. Snowball Witchery. Surrounds herself with 4 snowballs and automatically shoots a snowball to attack enemies every 3 seconds, dealing 130% damage to the targets under control effect. Each enemy can be attacked by a snowball every 2.5 seconds. Carolina creates more snowballs when they are all used up. Hero focus to increase her crit is also pretty nice, and then we have her weapon. When casting Snowball Witchery, Carolina permanently increases damage of the snowballs by 10% up to 7 times. From the third cast of Snowball Witchery, Carolina deals AoE damage to adjacent tiles with newly produced snowballs and reduces enemies' magic death by 15%. So this is very nice because we get this extra magic defense reduction. There you can already see if I like this magic defense reduction, you can imagine how much I would like this magic defense reduction, which we get on plus 15. Though sadly, Temporal Essence quite rare, so I didn't manage to do that, but that alone shows you how much potential there still is in this team, so definitely a ton. Upgraded her to Supreme Plus recently, and that gives us more Frostbite, so very helpful. The instant active of Iron that I talked about is basically this. Iron's first casting of Ultimate in battle does not consume energy, but it's also cast immediately at the beginning. And then what you really want on this plus 10 to get the mobilized duration of 6 seconds, because that's usually just 3. So that is very nice. Arden on the other hand, where is my Arden? Arden also not really upgraded, and my game doesn't want to. Okay, yes. Also, we just have his weapon as plus 5. We would get a longer duration of entangling roots here, which would be very nice. I think we will get him to Supreme Plus, I guess, in the near future. The good thing with him is he has this cloud, does massive damage with that. And then we also have Vines to entangle the enemies, so you also get extra CC there. And we have Arden recovers 12 energy whenever non-summoned enemy is controlled. Can be triggered once for each enemy, and every 2 seconds we trigger that every single time it can be triggered. So that is very, very nice. At level 211 we also get that to 15 energy, so if you have him have a higher resonance level already, that will be most helpful. That is his special gear, we already saw that. And then we have the Thunderstrike cooldown for Force of Nature. So he basically profits from the CC of the other heroes, but also inflicts CC of himself. Does magic damage, so a ton of damage coming from him there. Indeed, also quite the helpful hero. And with that we basically only have our last dot when we talked about Cessia, and she really is a bit of a problem. We can see it's physical damage that she deals. She fits in there in terms of her style being CC. We have the entangle there, we have that all going, so this is pretty nice. But other than that, I mean, she also has some some defense absorption, though I never was really sure if that really removes the defense, but I would need to test that. But she would be the first one that I would replace, if I'm being honest. I thought about replacing her with Damien, just for the extra bit of haste, but I would need to upgrade him a bit more to really manage to do that. And maybe in the future we'll get another hero to that. I've also thought about Cassidy, but Cassidy only really reduces magic defense if you have her at Supreme Plus. And then also I thought, well, 20% is not bad. 20% would be really nice, but we also don't get the CC then anymore. So really in that sense, I'm waiting for a new hero, or even better, a good idea from you guys. Maybe you guys have a very nice idea for that 5th hero. Who would you use? Who do you think would make sense? I really don't want to use something like Odie. He's like a magic damage dealer, but I'm not too sure about this. And I don't want to use Rainier, because Rainier takes out one enemy in another dimension, and that is something we really can't use, because that reduces our damage by 20%. So yeah, would be kind of bad. Roan, of course, really don't have much here. Yeah. So we really don't have any upgrades on him. I think he's Supreme Plus and that's about it. So we could also use some upgrades there. Though I don't think most of his skills are necessarily too good. Mostly support oriented, we really need him for the energy only. And even that would be debatable. If there was a good enough hero to replace him, we could do that as well. For now, I really like this team though. Tell me, do you enjoy it? Who would you use as a 5th hero instead of Cessia? Would you think is great for that? Did you try out that team? Did it work for you? Tell me all of that in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.